All right, guys, so today is September 25th, 2024, and there is a lot coming out across the headlines as we're hearing about nuclear war, World War III attack plans that are being drafted up right now as the United States and NATO are saying that they are preparing for nuclear strike attacks against them coming from Russia and China. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest headlines so that way you can see it for yourself. But take a look here. We're hearing today Russian President Vladimir Putin coming out and saying we reserve the right to use nuclear weapons in case of aggression against Russia. Here's another one coming out. You can see him actually speaking today. Putin threatens with a nuclear strike. Russia may consider using nuclear weapons once there is a reliable information about a massive launch of missiles and UAVs crossing the border, says Putin. Aggression against Russia by a non-nuclear state together with the nuclear state, he said, could also be attacked. Here's a headline coming out from CNN, and if I just backtrack a little bit here, you can see all the headlines that have been coming out on this. Putin proposes broader criteria for using nuclear arms. Putin lowers the threshold of nuclear response as he issues a new warning. Russia's nuclear doctrine to include attacks on non-nuclear states as well. And like I said, I'm going to get you caught up on this particular article giving us more detail coming out from CNN. Now, in addition to that, here it is, you guys. This is the World War III NATO plan, as they are saying that they're expecting to be hit here within the next decade, within this decade, which we're already halfway through. So they're anticipating World War III is going to be happening now. This is what we're hearing from NATO right now, you guys. So I'm going to be sharing with you, and here's a headline coming out on this so that way you can see it for yourself. NATO prepares a plan for a huge number of casualties in case of World War III scenario with Russia and Germany military, says an invasion could happen this decade. And again, this coming out today, September 25th, 2024. So this is new information that's rolling out as a result of the headlines coming out with Russian President Vladimir Putin essentially saying they have now officially changed their nuclear doctrine. He is saying that he has had enough with all the rhetoric, the threats, the intensifying of what is happening in Ukraine. But not only that, take a look at this. This is not just NATO, you guys. I've been sharing with you the past couple of days. The U.S. gears up for homeland defense as Russia and China, they have warships that are now reaching in the Pacific. So absolutely intensifying, you guys, over in the Pacific right now and in the Arctic, as we're hearing that is going on right now. Alaska, there is concerns with those warships. But in addition to that, I shared with you Russian bomber fighters as well, aircrafts detected in Alaska Defense Zone. They're saying that by air and sea, they are seeing Russia and China edging closer towards U.S. soil in Alaska. Now, you can see the headline right there, and this came out yesterday, September the 24th. The subtitle says, "The Russian activity is not seen as a threat," the commander said. But you guys, they're saying this is routine drills, something that typically happens, but we are seeing them deploying troops over there right now with concerns as to what is unfolding. Now, in addition to that, not just Russia, as I mentioned, but China as well. Take a look at this. World War III panic as China tests mega missile which could strike the U.S. with 10 nuclear warheads. It is thought that the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or the ICBM, was the DF-41, a deadly nuclear missile which could strike the United States mainland, and they're saying they just tested this. Now, we also saw Russia doing some tests, but unlike Russia, we're hearing China is doing some successful testing right now, and they're saying this is very concerning. So right now we're hearing that the United States, NATO, they are preparing for what is unfolding. You saw it, and I'm going to share with you the headlines as they are saying. I'm going to give you all the details. They're preparing their defense plans for nuclear strikes. This all coming out today, September the 25th, 2024. United States, NATO, Russia, China. We also have Israel and Iran and those proxy groups. Things are ramping up. And it looks like World War III is right around the corner. Literally seeing this now in the titles of these headlines coming out. and we're also hearing the rhetoric of nuclear weapons and war unfolding. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, you guys. Now do me a favor, before I dive into the details, please take a second, hit that like button if you appreciate the updates. I see we've almost got 2,100 people live streaming with me right now. If we could get half of the room to hit the like button, that would be awesome. Helps spread this out further. Just takes a second. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Now, in addition to that, if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Just takes a second, and I'll keep you up to speed on everything. But make sure you stay subscribed. A lot of people getting unsubscribed from the channel. Not sure why. We think it has something to do with the YouTube settings and updates. But just make sure you're staying subscribed. Turn on that notification bell to all, so that way you can know exactly what is going on all the time. As soon as I go live, you'll be notified of the latest updates. And as I always say, all of my resources here, all my articles, everything is linked in the description for you, so that way you can go ahead and see it for yourself. I try to put it on the screen so you can see that this is actually coming out today, September the 25th, 2024. Try to hold myself accountable to the community, so it is linked in the description along with additional resources. As you've heard, we could be on the brink of World War III. There could be cyber attacks. There's a lot of stuff going on. We could have our own supply chain issues coming with the strikes that I reported on starting October 1st. So I do not think it is a bad idea to take levels of precaution for yourself and your family to stock up right now if you can. Now, if you can't, or you don't think it's necessary, totally fine. But I'm making that available to anybody who's interested down in the description below. So let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on everything that is unfolding here, you guys. Now, in addition to that, as you guys might know, as things are progressing, it is probably we're going to see the economy get a little wild here, and things might get a little funny with the money. So if that is the case, I have got a video that I want you guys to check out. This is additional resource that I want to make available to you guys if you are interested. So go ahead and check this out, and then we're going to dive into the video articles, so that way you can see the latest. Let's go ahead and take a look. With the cost of living through the roof and the dollar being devalued more and more each day with the Fed's massive money printing, the question naturally arises, are my investments safe? I doubt it. Listen to this. Government debt is growing at a rate of $1 trillion every 100 days. Since 2020, every dollar in your wallet has lost 24% of its purchasing power. And in just the last 18 months, the cost of groceries and basic necessities for a family of four has gone up an average of $11,000 a year. These are outrageous numbers. That's why I recommend you call my friends at Lear Capital. They'll show you how easy it is to move some of your dollars that are losing value into gold and silver that holds value. Now's the time to take action. Call Lear today at 1-800-411-2430 or go to learram.com. Get your free gold and silver wealth protection guides. There's no obligation, just free information on protecting your hard-earned dollars with gold and silver. Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Call 1-800-411-2430 or go to learram.com. Also, ask on how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. Again, call 1-800-411-2430 or go to learram.com. So there you have it, you guys. And again, thank you to Lear for making that available to us here on the channel. So that way, anybody that's interested that wants to protect your finances for you and your family, you can look into gold, you can look into silver. They have a ton of free resources, and you can contact them to find out more about that. So again, thank you to Lear Capital, and that is going to be in the description. So go ahead and check that out, so that way you can have your finances set for you and your family. Now, do me a favor before I dive into the articles. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Just want to make sure that my mics and everything are working well before I start diving into the information, so that way you guys know all is going across good. I don't want to just be talking to myself here. So put a 5x5 if you can hear me and see me okay. Let me know. I know there's a slight delay here in the channel, so once I see those 5x5s, I'll go ahead and dive into the articles so that way you can hear the latest as to what is going on as we're hearing about these warnings coming out. Okay, I'm seeing those 5x5s. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get to the articles. Now, do me a favor. If I can get 50 more likes, we'd have 1,000 while we are live. And also, don't forget to check out Lear Capital. That is going to be in the description for you as well if you're interested in stocking up on gold and silver to hedge against volatility and unexpected things coming here in the markets. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is coming out from CNN World. It says Putin issues a nuclear warning to the West over strikes on Russia from Ukraine. And again, this coming out today. You can see 3:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, September 25th. So in just the past couple of hours, we are getting this update. Now, the article says that President Vladimir Putin warned the West on Wednesday today that Russia could use nuclear weapons if it was struck with conventional missiles, and that Moscow would consider any assault on it supported by a nuclear power to be a joint attack, specifically talking about the United States and NATO. Now, the decision to change Russia's official nuclear doctrine is the Kremlin's answer to deliberation in the United States and Britain about whether or not to give Ukraine permission to fire conventional Western missiles into Russia. And I've been sharing with you this. We had heard Russia say, if you allow Ukraine to do this, we consider this that the war in Ukraine, the entire essence of it has changed, and we consider it that we are at war with you, the United States, and with NATO. Putin, opening a meeting on Russia's Security Council, said that the changes were in response to a swiftly changing global landscape, which had thrown up new threats and risks to Russia. The 71-year-old Kremlin chief, the primary decision maker on Russia's vast nuclear arsenal, said that he wanted to underscore one key change in particular. It is proposed that aggression against Russia by a non-nuclear state, but with the participation or support of a nuclear state, be considered as their joint attack on the Russian Federation, Putin said. The conditions for Russia's transition to the use of nuclear weapons are also clearly fixed, Putin said, adding that Moscow would consider such a move if it detected the state of a massive launch of missiles, aircrafts, or drones against it. Russia reserved the right to also use nuclear weapons if it or ally Belarus were the subject of aggression, including by conventional weapons, Putin said. Putin said the clarifications were carefully calibrated and commensurated with the modern military threats facing Russia. Confirmation that the nuclear doctrine was changing. Russia's current published nuclear doctrine, set out in a 2020 decree by Putin, says Russia may use nuclear weapons in case of a nuclear attack by an enemy or a conventional attack that threatens the existence of the state. The innovations outlined by Putin include a widening of the threats under which Russia would consider a nuclear strike. So they are saying right now that they are broadening and lowering the standards for which they'll be able to attack, lowering the standards, broadening it to make it more available for them to go ahead and do this. And this is very concerning because we've been seeing ICBM testings by Russia, and these threats have been coming out. And as I mentioned, in the United States, we saw those warplanes flying around Alaska. One of them was a bomber capable of dropping nuclear weapons, and we're also seeing warships. So things are ramping up. The inclusion of ally Belarus under the nuclear umbrella and the idea that a rival nuclear power supporting a conventional strike on Russia would also be considered to be attacking it. The United States in 2022 was also concerned about the possible use of a tactical nuclear weapon by Russia, that it warned Putin over the consequences of using such weapons, according to Central Intelligence Agency's Director Bill Burns. Confrontation. The 2.5-year-old Ukraine war has triggered the gravest confrontation between Russia and the West since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, considered to be the closest the two Cold War superpowers came to intentional nuclear war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has been urging Kiev's allies for months to let Ukraine fire Western missiles, including long-range U.S. ATACMs and British Storm Shadows, deep into Russia to limit Moscow's ability to launch the attacks. And today, we saw, there's a picture down at the bottom of the screen, Volodymyr Zelensky, and we saw Russian President Vladimir Putin both warning about the escalation that is coming. Both sides saying War is on the way, with Ukraine losing key towns to gradually advancing Russia's forces in the country's east. The war is entering what Russia officials say is the most dangerous phase to date. Zelensky has urged the West to cross and disregard Russia's so-called, quote, red lines, and some Western allies have urged the United States to do just that. Though Putin's Russia, which controls just under one-fifth of Ukraine's territory, has warned that the West and Ukraine are risking global war. And like I said, the verbiage we're hearing coming out today, September 25th, is World War III and nuclear war. Russia no longer has any instruments to intimidate the world apart from nuclear blackmail, said Andrei Yermakov, Zelensky's chief of staff. He said in response to Putin's remarks, "These instruments, they will not work." Putin, who cast the West as a decadent aggressor, and U.S. President Joe Biden, who casts Russia as a corrupt autocracy, and Putin as a destroyer of life, have both warned that a direct Russia-NATO confrontation could escalate into World War III. And again, this is the verbiage that is now coming out September 25th. This is escalating. We're hearing nuclear warnings, nuclear war, World War III. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has also warned of the risk of nuclear war. Russia is the world's largest nuclear power. Together, Russia and the U.S. control 88% of the world's nuclear warheads. In his remarks to Russia's Security Council, a type of modern-day Politburo of Putin's most powerful officials, including influential hawks, Putin said that work on the amendments on changing the doctrine had been going on for the past year. The nuclear triad remains the most important guarantee of ensuring the security of the state and citizens, an instrument of maintaining the strategic parity and balance of power in the world, Putin said. Russia, he said, would consider using nuclear weapons upon receiving reliable information about the massive launch of aerospace attack vehicles and their crossings of our state border, meaning strategic and tactical aircraft, cruise missiles, drones, hypersonics, and other aircrafts. So, like I said, this coming out today, they have lowered the threshold by which they're going to be saying they are now able to use nuclear weapons. Changing the nuclear doctrine has been announced as of today, September 25th, 2024. And this same day, take a look at this, we are seeing the plans coming out from NATO regarding, here we go, NATO prepares plans for huge number of casualties in case World War III erupts. The scenario with Russia, as Germany military says an invasion could happen this decade. And let's take a look at this article that released this chart that has more information. NATO is developing a mass evacuation and rescue plan in case of a future war with Russia, a senior general has declared. Lieutenant General Alexander Solfrank, the head of NATO's Logistics Command, confirmed this week the security bloc is working to ensure that it has the operational capability to extract large numbers of wounded troops from the front lines. The German general warned that unlike allies experienced in Afghanistan and Iraq, an all-out war with Russia would likely see NATO incur heavy losses across huge battlefields. So they're saying they are preparing for a massive all-out war. And here you can see the plans they have, how NATO can prepare for Russian attacks. They say improve aerial defenses over here to the north. You can see blue, and blue with stripes is NATO states and NATO allies. So you can see Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Poland, Sweden, an ally, Ukraine, an ally, Italy, Turkey, all of these nations. Don't forget the United States is included in this as well. And you can see Russia and Russian allies in pink and pink with stripes. Pink is Russia. And here are the ones with stripes. You can see Belarus. You can see their plans, building up military stockpiles, switching to wartime economy, heavy losses of personnel and supplies in Ukraine. They're mapping out all of these different things they need to take into consideration as they are moving forward into all-out war. So this is coming out again, you guys, today, September the 25th, 2024. Like I said, I'm going to continue to keep you guys up to date as this unfolds. But like I said, Russia, not the only one. China as well. We're going to take a look at this here in just a second. But I also wanted to say thank you for the super chats. I see you, Kimberly Brokaw. thank you for the $50 super chat. Thank you for your generosity. I will continue to keep you up to date on everything. And also, I see a super chat also came in from Amy Arrington, $10 super chat. Thank you, Steve, for all the information. I know we should not be scared, but prepared. However, I do have a little bit of anxiety about World War III. Totally understandable. And like I always say, yes, you're right. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Know what is going on. This is, regardless of whether you watch this or not, this is going to be unfolding. We are heading in this direction, and I feel like it's a good idea for us to know exactly what is taking place, so that way we can be ready. And like I said, additional resources are going to be linked down below for you guys. Today, September the 25th. This is huge news in the direction of war. And as things unfold, though, I will keep you up to speed. I think knowledge is power, but not only that, the application of knowledge is power. The book of James says that, show me your works and I will show you your faith. It's not enough just to believe, but we also need to take action. So that's why I always say, don't be scared, be prepared. The application of knowledge in us knowing what's going on and then taking steps to be ready is the true power. So I will continue to keep you guys up to date on that, so that way you know exactly what is going on. I'll share with you all the resources, all the information. And thank you again for that support. I appreciate it a ton. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this article so that way people can get caught up on, as well as the United States is concerned about what's going on with China. You can see here the U.S. gears up for homeland defense. So this is no longer like on the other side of the world, somewhere else. This is happening right here on our own soil. We are hearing that Russia and China, they are sending warplanes, warships, nuclear-capable bombers over to Alaska in the north. So there is major concern right now about their presence. Now they're saying that they're in neutral waters, but it's enough to spook the United States right now because of all the tensions that have risen and everything that is going on. The U.S. gears up for homeland defense as Russia and China warships reach the Pacific. You can see the date on this is yesterday, September the 24th, and I shared this with you as soon as it came out. But let's go ahead and take a look at this just very quickly again before we dive into the details of what is going on with China and their nuclear testing. A Russian-Chinese flotilla sailed toward the northern Pacific Ocean on Monday, 2 days ago, while the United States deployed 2 warships from Homeland Defense operations to protect Alaska. According to the Japanese defense minister, a total of 9 Russian-Chinese warships transited the La Perouse Strait, a designated international waterway known as the Soya Strait, eastward from the Sea of Japan and to the Sea of Okhotsk from Sunday to Monday. So again, I shared with you guys the news of the bombers that came out, but in addition to that, we're also hearing that they are going by sea. The Russian-Chinese naval formation would reach the wider northern Pacific Ocean by sailing further to the east and passing through Russia's Kuril Islands. The warships would also arrive near the Aleutian Islands of Alaska if they were on that northeastward voyage. And here you can see the map of where it is that these areas are, where they were coming from. And, you know, the Arctic, Russia is just right there by Alaska. So a lot of people saying that as things continue to escalate here, Alaska, of course, Hawaii, the West Coast, California, Washington, Oregon, these are the states in the U.S. that need to be on alert, need to be mindful of what is going on. If you are in those areas, let me know in the comments. Put yes. If you are in California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, or Alaska, put yes in the comments. I want to see how many people are in those areas. If you are in those areas, you should be on high alert right now, just being aware of what's going on. Again, don't be scared, but be aware of what is taking place. Now, the joint naval sailings by Russia and China came as the U.S. Navy deployed cruisers USS Lake Erie and destroyer USS Sterett to the northern Pacific Oceans and the Aleutian Islands, respectively, while the U.S. Army sent 3 units to the remote Shermay Islands of the archipelago. So they are sending them over there. So again, if this is just regular drills, if it's not a big deal, why the additional support and defenses that are going out? What they are saying to the public right now is no need for alarm. It is okay. This is regular drills. Yet their actions and their words don't match up. What we are seeing right now is almost, I would say, panic. Sending over immediately, responding. This is not something that has been preemptive. They said, oh, we've known about this for a while. They do these drills all the time. Then why is it at the last minute when this is unfolding, literally the same day, we are beginning to see these military forces move and react? Not act and be prepared, but they are reacting to what is going on. The Lake Erie, which is the home ported in San Diego, California, has conducted what the Navy called homeland defense operations in the Northern Pacific Ocean since September 18th. It was still underway in the area as of Sunday, according to photos released by the service. The San Diego-based Sterett departed on September 2nd to the patrol the Bering Sea, according to the Politico. It moored the Dutch harbor on Armagnac Island of the Aleutian Archipelago on September 13th and 18th during its homeland defense operations in the area. The U.S. Northern Command, which is responsible for the homeland defense, confirmed to Politico in a statement that the Sterett was sent to support the command's maritime homeland defense missions in response to the known Russian exercise in the region. So again, they're saying they knew about it, but you guys, we're hearing that there is appearing to be a lot of panic, and even if they knew about it right now, this is just very tense with all of the tensions that are currently going on with the United States, Russia, and China. And like I said, not just Russia, China as well, the two working together side by side, coming together, flying those planes, going with those bombers, and also sending over those warships. Now this comes, like I said, Russian bombers, fighters, aircrafts detected in Alaska Defense Zone. And take a look at this very concerning as well. Now I let you know that it was concerning that Russia was testing out those ICBMs, and we were hearing that they were failures. But take a look at this, China getting in on the action as well. And you can see this article coming out today, September the 25th, 2024, updated around noon today, 11:28. World War III panic. And again, I'm sharing with you, this is coming out on the headlines right now. This is all over the social media. World War III panic, nuclear weapons, as China tests mega missile, which could strike U.S. with 10 nuclear warheads. It is thought that the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or the ICBM, was the DF-41, a deadly nuclear missile which could strike U.S. mainland. And wait till you see the path in which they sent this, you guys, across the Pacific, reaching towards the United States. And let's go ahead and take a look here. China successfully carried out a rare launch of an Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM. And again, they successfully carried out a rare launch. So earlier we got information about Russia not successfully doing this, but Russia and China working hand in hand. And now we're hearing that China, they are successfully launching these nuclear weapons. The missile, likely to be the Dongfeng 41 or the DF-41, is China's longest range missile, capable of reaching speeds of up to Mach 25. The DF-41 is China's most up-to-date ICBM and can hit a target 12,000 kilometers away while carrying up to 10 nuclear warheads, the article says. Now, this comes amid mounting concerns about China's unprecedented nuclear buildup among security officials in the U.S. and Europe. And I've already let you know here on the channel, I've shared with you that the United States has changed its nuclear strategy as of 2024. Back in March, Biden changed it because they said right now it is not just about the United States against Russia or the United States against China. Right now, it is the United States against all of our enemies who are coming together right now, and they're concerned that at the pace at which our adversaries are moving with their nuclear strategies, the United States is not going to be able to keep up. We're going to get left behind, and this is going to be a serious threat to the United States. Now, this just came out in August, but the changes were made back in March, and when that came out, China was one of the very first to vocalize, we are very upset about this. The United States ramping up their nuclear strategies, China upset, and you can see China successfully launching ICBM testings, which are those missiles that can travel at incredible speeds and also carry nuclear-capable warheads. So the ICBM itself could have a nuclear warhead. It could just have some other type of elements in it. They could have all sorts of things. Right now I'm drawing a blank, but it's not just nuclear, but they're capable of carrying those loads. This comes amid the mounting concerns of China's unprecedented nuclear buildup among security officials in the U.S. and Europe. The Chinese Defense Ministry confirmed that the launch, saying that it was fired from a silo in Hainan and fell into expected sea areas. So everything went according to plan in waters near the French Polynesian Islands in the South Pacific. The ICBM launch carrying a dummy warhead was part of a routine training plan, according to the Chinese government. A spokesperson for the Defense Ministry said that the test launch was not directed at any country or target, and that Beijing had informed the countries that were concerned in advance. And look at the path here. You can go ahead and see how far they sent that out. The DF-41 can hit a target 12,000 kilometers away while carrying up to 10 nuclear warheads. Look at that distance, covering a pretty good portion of the Earth. The DF-41 mega missile was first publicly displayed in October of 2019 during China's 70th anniversary National Day military parade. So you guys, things ramping up here with Russia, China, the United States, NATO, this all coming out today, September the 25th. Things are getting intense. And let me know your thoughts. Are we on the brink of World War III? We're seeing this all over the headlines today. Like I said, this is coming out with Russia. This is coming out from NATO, the United States, China. There's concerns with Ukraine having those long-range missiles that are going to be able to strike Russia. We also have things ramping up in the Middle East with Israel and Iran and these proxy groups that they are attacking. Are we on the brink of World War III? If you think that we are, go ahead and drop a 3 in the comments. If you think we're going to be able to avoid this, put a 4. But I got to say, today's September the 25th, 2024. It appears that things are ramping up, and I don't think we have ever been closer than we are right now. Now, we'll see. Things could change. If you think that things could change here, put a 4. If you think we're not going to go to World War III, but if you think we are, drop a 3 in the comments. Now we will see, because it seems like things are ramping up. So it feels like tomorrow will be even closer if we're not in World War III. This is just shy of an actual announcement of World War III, the testings of these nuclear weapons, the testings of the ICBMs, the World War III nuclear strategies for defense coming out from the United States and NATO, and Russia and China doing these tests. It feels like we're getting closer. And as we progress here, we're going to see when things are actually going to pop off. I mean, are we going to see a nuclear explosion take place? If we do, I'm pretty sure this is going to be World War III, and things are going to be very intense and pretty wild. We haven't seen anything like this since, decades and decades, since World War II, where things are ramping up. Nations are picking sides, threatening one another. We're threatening war. We're seeing war. And like I said, whatever unfolds, though, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel, because I think the most important thing for us to have right now is knowledge, to know what is taking place. And then we're going to be able to make decisions that are best for us and our family while all of this is going on. So like I said, what I will continue to do is give you guys the latest information so you know exactly what is taking place. I will cite the links in the description of all my videos, so that way you can go ahead and click them, you can see them, you can do your own research as well. I'll also provide all the resources for you and your family. We have EMP-proof fabrics linked in the description, paper maps linked in the description, various resources like flashlights, candles, all these different things, batteries, EMP-proof items for your vehicles are available. Use the links in the description below, so that way you can get access to those, because some people don't even think about the fact that they've got computer chips in their cars. If there's an EMP that hits, your car goes down. But not only that, you won't be able to start it if your fob is hit as well. So you got to have the fob covering for that to protect your vehicle. A lot of things to take into consideration. Those are down below. And also, you might want to have some actual physical assets available. And again, thank you to today's video sponsor, Lear. If you are looking for gold and silver, contact them right away. I've got that phone number and the links down below. That's another item you're going to want to think about. Currency, food, water, shelter, gas. You might need gas containers, travel, transportation, communications, all those. And speaking of communication, if social media platforms go down, www.steveramnews.com as well to stay connected on the newsletter for you guys too. Dan, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. So I don't believe in God just the way it is. You have been on here a lot. Thank you for the info. Dan says, thank you for the compliment and the $10 super chat. Dan, I appreciate that a ton. I believe in God. If you don't, I respect that. Regardless of your beliefs, you are welcome here on the channel, and I will continue to keep you up to date. Just know that I'm a believer, so don't be surprised if I mention God or I mention praying. That's just who I am. But like I said, we are still, regardless of your beliefs, you're welcome here to get the latest information. I'll do my best to just make sure you get everything, you get it accurate, you have it linked in the description, and you can check it out for yourself. I'll cite all the resources so it's available to you, because things are ramping up here. And I hope that things de-escalate, but the way they've been going, it just seems like every day it is intensifying. So as of tomorrow, it'll be the 26th. We will see what happens, and I will keep you guys up to date. But now we're hearing, like I said, and a recap for those of you hopping on a little bit later, I see we've got 3,700 people on with me live. Take a look at this. Nuclear weapons in case of aggression. We reserve the right, says Russian President Vladimir Putin. This coming out 4 hours ago today. And again, this came out, the actual footage of him making these announcements today. As he said, aggression against Russia by non-nuclear states together with nuclear states, referring to Ukraine and the United States. He said they will consider that as an act that will allow them to use nuclear weapons. Also coming out across the headlines, we saw NATO release this, World War III literally in the title, and they're concerned about getting hit with nuclear weapons. We're seeing the maps coming out that is being released by NATO. And also, it's not just NATO and Europe. The United States concerned. Alaska under alert right now. And I did confirm, I mentioned this in the previous video, that I had heard that sirens were going off in Alaska. Well, I confirmed that over in the Aleutian Islands, I believe it was, they were saying that they were going off while these test drills were taking place. Thank you for your daily updates, and God bless you, says Scrambled Eggs. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Scrambled Eggs. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you up to date. And also, it was Russian bombers, Russian warships, aircrafts, and also, like I mentioned, China successfully testing out their nuclear weapons as well. So all of this coming out in the news today, September 25th, 2024. Things are ramping up, and I will continue to do my best to keep you guys up to date on everything so you know exactly what is taking place and you don't miss out a thing. Now, do me a favor. If you appreciate that, take a second, hit that like button. Helps spread this out further so more people can see the latest information. I see we got 3,800 people with me live. Smashing that like button just takes a second, just helps out the channel. And also, thank you for your support. I see that Dan just became a member of the channel, hitting that join button with those monthly contributions. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you so much. As a result, all of these articles not only will pop up in the description, but they're also going to pop up in your feed. I try to do that for all of the community members, just trying to add a little bit of extra value to say thank you for your support. But like I said, you guys, I will keep you up to speed on everything. Thank you guys so much for joining me and sending out the information. I see Mark saying hit that like button. Thank you for that. I see somebody saying Trump 316, says Anthony. Scrambled Eggs became a member as well. Thank you for that. Lena, thank you for the $10 super chat. Black Clover saying infrastructure protection. Yes, that is an item as well. We're hearing that if war starts up, our U.S. infrastructure systems are susceptible to cyber attacks, that they've already been compromised, but we're hearing that several other nations that are our adversaries are waiting to do coordinated attacks against our infrastructure systems. So man, you know, a lot unfolding. Like I said, don't be scared, be prepared, get the information, have the knowledge, and take preparations. And I will be sure that I keep you guys up to date on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. And yes, I see PK Star also saying, yes, Israel preparing for ground invasions and maneuvers in Lebanon as well. Yeah, I'm going to do some research and get you caught up on that as well. Things are intensifying in the Middle East also. So, but that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, hit that like button if you haven't done so. Help spread this out. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything. And again, check out Lear Capital for gold and silver. Thank you for making that available to the community today. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.